Okay, so we've just got the team. Important news: Jasprit Bumrah in the squad, but we've asked to offload for 5 weeks. That's what Ajit Agarkar says as chairman of selectors, not to bowl for 5 weeks, which will be up by February 9th if you take 35 days since January 4th. Importantly, Shubman Gill announced as vice captain, and he mentioned Rishabh Pant's name towards the very end. So, was there a selection issue as far as Rishabh Pant and Sanju Samson is concerned? So, that's the Indian team. I let Gargi read out the full team and we will go. Not too many surprises there, but Jasprit Bumrah, news point, 35 days is what he was asked to offload. So, basically, and Ajit Agarkar also used the word hopeful. But before that, interestingly, Rohit Sharma, I don't think he knew that he was live or that his microphone was audible. He was saying, secretary से 1 घंटा बात करना पड़ेगा, सब कोई मुझे families के बारे में पूछ रहा है. So that was the other important thing that was coming out of that press conference as well. Gargi, why don't you read out the team? By the way, I'm just in the next hotel in Mumbai. Unfortunately, couldn't go because I'm part of the Tata Mumbai Marathon thing at the moment, but nonetheless, doesn't matter. Devashish Sen, Bharat Ramraj, Shomik Chakraborty, Gargi Rao joining us. Gargi, read out the team and let's get going.
Yes, so like you said, no surprises there. Rohit Sharma is the captain. Shubman Gill is the vice captain. Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul, Hardik Pandya, Akshar Patel, Washington Sundar, Kuldeep Yadav, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Arshdeep Singh, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Rishabh Pant, and Ravindra Jadeja. No Mohammad Siraj.
Excellent talking point there. No Mohammad Siraj. Shomik Chakraborty first stab. Mohammad Siraj missing out on this team. Jasprit Bumrah is also, they are saying, Harshit Rana replaces Bumrah because of the fitness. Does that mean Harshit Rana will travel if Jasprit Bumrah not ready for the Champions Trophy as well? So Mohammad Shami will perhaps lead a very inexperienced bowling attack if Jasprit Bumrah is not traveling. Arshdeep Singh, Mohammad Shami, and possibly Harshit Rana if Jasprit Bumrah is not traveling to the Champions Trophy. Yes, Bharat Ramraj, I'll come to you in a second. Shomik.
Ajit Agarkar has clearly said at the press conference that Harshit Rana has been included as cover for Jasprit Bumrah. So in the first week of February, for the next 15 days, Bumrah has been told to offload, and after that there will be an update. They can go until February 12th. This is a provisional squad. They can change it until February 12th. So Harshit Rana he will be with the team for the England series also. So from that point of view, it's a big, and this we have been saying all along that Jasprit Bumrah would be included in the provisional squad with an asterisk, and that's what's happened. Siraj missing out. Siraj missing out. I mean, it is of course not due to any fitness reasons. It is a surprise given that he has the experience. But as we saw in the last World Cup also, when Shami came back, he sort of became a bit peripheral in terms of Indian team using him. Arshdeep Singh, they have brought in Arshdeep Singh for variety. He will offer the left arm seam action, but as you have said, it's a very inexperienced bowling lineup. Shami will lead. We don't know how I mean, in terms of fitness, in terms of in terms of his form, where he stands at the moment. We'll get an idea about it during the England series. But given that Bumrah, if eventually he doesn't make it, that would be a huge blow. I would even say that could even be a crushing blow for the Indian team.
Devashish Sen, Shomik Chakraborty makes the point about inexperience. Coming to you, think about it. No, Bumrah means Mohammad Shami, who's making a comeback after 15 months, is going to lead your Champions Trophy bowling attack with Arshdeep Singh and Harshit Rana. That's your fast bowling attack for Dubai. Spin, I understand. Kuldeep Yadav, Ravindra Jadeja, Akshar Patel, etc., Washington Sundar. But as far as your fast bowling attack is concerned, you are talking about a return in Mohammad Shami, who's not played international cricket for 15 months. You are then talking about a Harshit Rana and Arshdeep Singh. That's your fast bowling attack in the absence of Mohammad Siraj. Devashish Sen, first thoughts.
Yeah, obviously, Jasprit Bumrah misses out. That will be a huge setback for India. But with Sami getting fit, the next three T20 internationals and the one day series against England will be incredibly important in the prospect of Indian team going ahead for the Champions Trophy. It will be seen how Sami scopes up, and his form will be very crucial leading up to the Champions Trophy. Given if somehow Jasprit Bumrah misses out, yes, just if Jasprit Bumrah is in the side, then obviously it augurs well for India. But if Jasprit Bumrah misses out in the Champions Trophy, that will be a huge setback for India, given the way he has performed for India across the format. But as far as Mohammad Siraj is concerned, I think it is on the expected lines given the form he has been in across the format. He has not done justice, and but then Buryada, if you ask me, conditions won't be that favorable for fast bowlers. So I think even if Jasprit Bumrah misses out, it will be a setback. But with Shami coming in, I think in this bowling with Ashdeep, Shami, and Harshit Rana, if he is picked, I think, and with Hardik Pandya as well. So I think India will have their bases covered as far as the bowling is concerned.
Good point, Devashish Sen, because clearly they might just go in with two fast bowlers and Hardik Pandya plus spinners. Gargi, before I go to Bharat, the other important talking point, I think the debate is settled. You now have your 50 over captain going forward, and that is Shubman Gill. That debate is once and for all settled. Now that you've picked him as vice captain to Rohit Sharma, if the moment Rohit Sharma hangs up his boots as far as 50 over cricket is concerned, it is Shubman Gill who takes over as India's captain. Because now it is clear that BCCI is grooming Shubman Gill. They've appointed him vice captain. First name he read out was Shubman Gill as vice captain. That debate is once and for all settled, Gargi Raut.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this for so long. We were talking about the next captain. Will it be a Rishabh Pant? Will it be a KL Rahul? Who will it be? But now I think it's pretty much confirmed that Shubman Gill is the future of Indian cricket, is the future of Indian captaincy. I am a little bit hesitant about his performance, though. With the bat, has he been consistent enough, to lead the side? But clearly, the management is backing him. Clearly, the management has been behind him for a very, very long time. You see that ever since, under 19, India under 19, in domestic cricket as well, he's always had a leadership role in any team that he's played in. So clearly, from very early on in his career, the Indian management, the BCCI has seen something in him that makes him the next Indian captain. So I think we can't really say what it is about Shubman Gill that makes the Indian management believe in him so much as a leader. But clearly, ever since he was there from a very young age, I would say India under 19, I think we saw a leader in the making.
Bharat, your first thoughts on the team?
Yeah, the main talking point obviously is about Jasprit Bumrah, but I kind of agree with Devashishi. The conditions in Dubai, they would be very much on the slower side. That is what one saw even when the Women's World Cup was held in Dubai. So maybe picking 3-4 spinners would help the Indian team in terms of the balance as well. Most of them are all-rounders as well. If you look at it, Jadeja, Akshar Patel, Washington Sundar, these guys can also bat. So considering that, maybe Indian management is thinking, there's no need for another extra pacer in Mohammad Siraj, and even if Jasprit Bumrah by chance is not completely fit, then they can somehow balance the squad out or strike a balance and keep winning. So that could be the main talking point from India's perspective, that they have picked so many spinners considering the conditions in Dubai.
Let's now break it down. Now that the squad has been announced, Shomik Chakraborty, let's try and break it down one by one. Importantly, Shubman Gill call. Are you okay with the Shubman Gill call? I want to take comments on this because I asked Gargi. I want to take comments on this from you, Devashish and Bharat. Vice captain, but surely someone who hasn't fulfilled his promise yet. Surely someone who has to be questioned at times as well. Has he done enough to become the vice captain of India? Yashasvi Jaiswal waiting in the wings. Are you happy with this call of Shubman Gill being appointed vice captain?
I mean, this is sort of continuation in the sense India last year went to Sri Lanka, played the three-match ODI series, and there also Shubman was the vice captain. So clearly, BCCI and the selectors are trying to groom him as the future captain. See, as far as future comes of 50 over cricket, Rishabh Pant is not an automatic pick in 50 overs in the 50 over format. So you have to have someone who is young and who can. I mean, you can bank on, in the sense that he will play for a long time. So clearly, obviously, Shubman so far hasn't fulfilled his promise. But Shubman is someone BCCI banks on a lot, and they believe that Shubman will eventually flourish, given his talent, and it is undeniable that he has a lorry load of talent. So from that point of view, so it's sort of a continuation. BCCI didn't break it, and I I would say this came along the expected lines.
Devashish Sen, does this mean we now have three captains for three formats? Because clearly
But
Shubman Gill in the test match format. Let me ask you this. Three captains for three formats. You have Surya Kumar Yadav. Test match cricket, clearly you are not seeing Shubman Gill as captain, or are you? And obviously in the 50 overs you have Gill. So are you headed that direction now that India will have three captains for three formats? Devashish Sen.
very much so, but Moriala, also one thing is that by naming Shubman Gill as the vice captain, you have to play him for all matches, and then obviously and obviously you have to open with Shubman Gill. But therein lies the debate whether it would not be preferable for opening the batting with Yashasvi Jaiswal, who has done reasonably well in white ball cricket. Means obviously he hasn't played much one day cricket, but his strike rate in T20 cricket has been more than 160, and it is also a left-hander, so that left-handed right-handed combination would have lent a sort of balance to an Indian batting. But by naming Shubman Gill, you cannot keep him out of the playing 11. So obviously, and with Shubman, you have to open. And so Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, if they open the batting, so number 3, 4, 5, then it becomes Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, and Hardik Pandya. So I
Rishabh
think
Pant.
clearly, and Rishabh Pant as well. So you are missing a trick, I think, because any day you should have opened the batting with Rohit Sharma and the Yashasvi Jaiswal. Yashasvi Jaiswal for me should have been the constant in the top order, given that he is a left-hander, and the manner in which he scores the runs. So I think, but selectors might have a different thought. So Shubman Gill is definitely not an automatic choice for me. But by naming him the vice captain, you have to pick him now for all the matches
Important
in the
point
playing
made.
11.
Important point made. Rohit Sharma has just said that Siraj is not as effective with the old ball, which is why they've decided to sort of move beyond Siraj as far as this one is concerned. That's an important call mentioned by Rohit Sharma. Lot of people. Shubham Gupta, Gill is overrated. Why is Jaiswal waiting? Arvind Krishnamurti, first channel to tell the squad, kudos, keep up the good work. Lot of fast bowling lacks experiences, Arvind. We will take all questions. Not to peanut of vice captain is given to Gill this time. Suman Avasthi, but Bharat Ramraj, important question here. So, Rishabh Pant, KL Rahul, both of them now picked. Are we calling KL Rahul as wicketkeeper, or does KL Rahul then get a spot in that squad? Because and a lot of Sanju Samson fans will once again start saying, "Oh, what is wrong?" But I think Sanju Samson did not play the Vijay Hazare Trophy. No playing Vijay Hazare, no Champions Trophy. For me, fair call. You don't play the Vijay Hazare Trophy for whatever reason, you don't necessarily get picked for the Champions Trophy squad, whoever you are. Now you will say, why did the others not play? That question is there. The others were playing in Australia, you weren't. So you had to play the Vijay Hazare Trophy. It's as simple as that. Bharat Ramraj, where do you stand on this? Sanju Samson omitted, and KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant.
Oh, that's a tough one, Pant versus KL Rahul. I guess the Indian management somehow I have a gut feel that Indian management might go for Rishabh Pant as is a left-handed batter. Though it would be quite unfair on someone like KL Rahul. If you ask me, I would still go with the KL Rahul because he's performed well for you in ODI cricket over a period of time. I understand something. No, not exactly. Didn't exactly go well for him in the World Cup final, but over a period of time in 50-over tournament, he's performed well for you. He's good against hard lens. He's quite versatile. He can also execute his plans against spinners in the middle overs. I'm talking about ODI cricket. I'm not talking about T20 cricket here because he's good at rotation of strike, forming the strike. So considering all that, I would maybe plump for someone like KL Rahul, but I have gut feel with Rishabh Pant being a left-handed batter as well. Left-hand batter as well. The management might look at him. As far as Sanju Samson is concerned, I'll definitely agree with it. See, whatever it is, you still have, whatever the reason, you still have to play that Vijay Hazare Trophy. You didn't, so that is where I guess it came down to. And he has succeeded in T20 cricket. I perfectly understand that, but in ODI cricket, it's not like, yeah, he's had some performances in Zimbabwe here or there, but you can't say he's a sure starter when it comes to ODI lineups or ODI squads, because India have so many good players when it comes to the 50 or format. So it is understandable that he's not been picked. Just want to add one point on Shubman Gill. One has to also remember that in this format, at least, average is 58.20. So this is one format where he scores runs. I perfectly understand why Jaiswal has also needs to be picked, but this is one format where Shubman Gill has succeeded over a period of time.
Gargi Rao, two questions. Your thoughts on Mohammad Siraj? You agree with that call? You agree with that call of Mohammad Siraj? Rohit Juglan is messaging me the team that he had posted. Absolutely. We had discussed this. Washington Sundar point we had discussed on our show as well. But Gargi Rao, first question, your thoughts on Mohammad Siraj? And secondly, I will ask this to Shomik as well. I mean, this is not a team that should have taken 3 hours to debate. Was it a Pant versus Samson? Was it what? Why were you 3 hours late for the press conference? There must have been some reason. There must have been some debate. What was going on? Gargi, your first thoughts on Mohammad Siraj and then this other one.
I was sort of expecting the Mohammad Siraj call there. In the last live also, while we were talking before the actual press conference timing that was there, 12:30 p.m. We were talking about Mohammad Siraj, and this was a call I expected, because when you compare a Mohammad Siraj and maybe an Arshdeep Singh, I think you have your answer there. Arshdeep Singh has been penetrative, maybe like Rohit Sharma said that Mohammad Siraj hasn't been as penetrative with the old ball. I think that played a lot of difference there, and in the recent past as well. Of course, the BGT trophy, you're not supposed to mix formats, but you do look at the confidence the player brings or the consistency that the player is bringing. And I think when we talk about this debate of Arshdeep Singh over Mohammad Siraj, then I think Arshdeep Singh wins there. When we talk about the 3 hour delay, I have no idea what was going on there. I thought they would walk in and do the press conference and it would be over. But unfortunately, there were still things to ponder about. Like you said, I think it could have been the Rishabh Pant Sanju Samson call, because you talk about a white ball cricket and you immediately think of whether a Sanju Samson is better or a Rishabh Pant is better with the bat. That's the debate there. But I think this team is very on the expected lines, and I still don't understand why it took so long.
So
So
Shomik
this is a point,
Chakraborty, Shomik, yes,
small
Bharat.
point on Mohammad Siraj. One point I just want to add on Siraj, that when it comes to Siraj, I think he's a bit jaded. Looks a bit jaded. He's played a lot of matches. So when I watched him in Australia, yes, sometimes he was hitting the bat hard on impact, but there are times as well when it seemed like it was coming out very floaty from his release. So that's a clear indicator. Maybe a little bit of mental fatigue or physical fitness also is perhaps a little bit down. So that could be one of the reasons why Mohammad Siraj has not looked at his best in the recent past. And someone like Arshdeep Singh has been swinging the ball really well in South Africa as well in T20 eyes. He swung the ball really well. So maybe they're looking at him as the new ball option with Mohammad Shami coming in as first change. If they pick the three.
Fair call. Shomik Chakraborty, now what is the leak? Give me the leak why the press conference was 3 hours delayed. That is question number one. Why was the press
No,
conference?
no,
That is the next leak. That is the next gossip. But more importantly, Ajit Agarkar has once again said he is hopeful about Jasprit Bumrah's fitness. So clearly they know something. They know something that there is every reason for Jasprit Bumrah to be ready. Multiple times he's saying that when it time comes, we will decide if he's not able to. But multiple times he's also saying that Jasprit Bumrah will be fit. So I'm sure that the chairman of selectors has an idea that Jasprit Bumrah will be ready. Show me Chakraborty.
obviously. I mean, see, as far as the delay is concerned, I mean, basically, before the start of the press conference, Ajit Agarkar also said there is no conspiracy theories there. Uh, they were seeking certain clarifications about some fitness issues,
So you
especially
mean to
Bumrah
say you
and
mean to
other
say
players.
clarifications
A
could
couple
not be
of
sought in the morning? You had a press conference slotted at 12 o'clock. You want to see
no,
clarifications between 12 and 3.
but the thing is
You
that,
have
but the
announced,
fact of the
Shomik,
matter
come
is that
on.
I haven't
Come on.
come.
You have announced a press conference between 12, 12:30, whatever, right? So clearly, the clarification, what has changed between 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock? Tell me. Can anything change between 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock? No.
That I
So exactly, why is it a 3 hour delay? There must have
no.
been some discussion that carried on, which is why this 2.5 hour delay happened. And clearly, Rohit Sharma being heard on mic there, baat karna padega secretary se, kyunki about families, etc., etc. There is a lot of confusion going on there. That was evident when he said, "Abhi to yahan pe ek डेढ़ घंटा और रुकना पड़ेगा, secretary से बात करना पड़ेगा about families." Shomik.
So that is maybe beyond the selection. As we see the squad, it's sort of an open and shut case. See, I haven't covered a selection meeting in my life that started on time, but this 3 hour delay was unusual. This 3 hour delay was unusual. Maybe beyond the team selection, they discuss certain issues. I mean, a lot of things have been going on in Indian cricket, and chief chairman of the selector was there, captain was there, BCCI secretary was there. So it could well be the fact that beyond the selection meeting, they are they were discussing certain issues which is not related to the Champions Trophy or which is related to all the things that has been going around in the Indian cricket. And your second question, you said about Bumrah, whether
Okay, so Rohit Sharma is to
obviously
play the Ranji
as
Trophy
the
game for
chair,
Mumbai. That's the other important update. Rohit Sharma will play the Ranji Trophy game for Mumbai against Jammu and Kashmir on the 23rd. That's the update. Rohan Jaitley and I had a chat. He
that
still doesn't know about Virat Kohli. So we will get to know about Virat Kohli because we will find out from the BBCA president. But Rohit Sharma will play the Ranji Trophy game for Mumbai. That is the call. Whether as far as his red ball cricket future is concerned, there is no clarity. There is no clarity yet. Yes, absolutely, Gargi. Tweet the Ranji Trophy news for sure. Yes, Shomik, go on.
and also obviously Ajit Agarkar being the chairman of selectors, he will know about Bumrah's fitness status, and he has to know about Bumrah's fitness status. And when he is hopeful, see, Bumrah is one. You can say you have cover, you have X or Y or Z, but the bottom line is that you cannot replace the irreplaceable. Bumrah is
Devashish
irreplaceable.
said, if
You cannot
if that is
replace
the
him.
case,
Whoever,
chalo, if
be
that
it
is the case,
Shami.
fair enough. But whatever it is, Devashish, none of this. I mean, Bumrah's fitness update hasn't changed between 11 a.m. in the morning and 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. So you knew about Bumrah's fitness update. There must be some other issues that was being deliberated and discussed, which caused the 3 hour delay. It doesn't look too professional. Let's be candid. It doesn't look professional. When you said 12 o'clock, 12:30, you've come at 3 p.m. It doesn't look too professional there. One. Number two, the fact that you've announced Shubman Gill now, you have, like you rightly said, you've preempted the entry of Yashasvi Jaiswal because he's not part of your schema, despite having all the talent in the world and what he's done. Third question that comes up, the whole spinners angle. Let's tackle that a little bit. Akshar Patel, Ravindra Jadeja, both there, similar skill sets. Washington Sundar does the off spinning act. Kuldeep Yadav comes back, as all of us were saying he will get fit. So who do you pick, Devashish Sen? Akshar Patel or Ravindra Jadeja? Or you can't pick both, or you want to pick both? Who do you pick in the first 11?
Obviously, it has to be Ravindra Jadeja, clearly because of experience, because of wealth of experience he brings into the table. But at the same time, Akshar Patel has done nothing wrong so as to demand his selection in the playing 11. But yes, one reason that the selectors might have delayed, might have another discussion, might be with regard to Rishabh Pant and Sanju Samson, because that was a very interesting call. Sanju Samson, yes, despite the fact that he did not play the Vijay Hazare Trophy, but given the form he was in terrific form of late. So that to me was an interesting call. Yeah, another guy who might have felt left out is Varun Chakravarti. I think Varun Chakravarti's inclusions would have been handy for India, especially in conditions like in Dubai. So yes, it's a unfair. I think he would feel let down by the fact that he was not picked. But then again, as far as the spinners is concerned, I would still go in with when it comes to left-hand spinners, I would still go in with a Ravindra Jadeja, yeah, clearly because of his wealth of experience.
Okay.
Devashish, I will slightly disagree with you in terms of Ravindra Jadeja and Akshar Patel, given that See, Akshar Patel in this format, in the shorter format, he walks in because not only his left arm spin, he is a floater in the batting lineup. I mean, he can come in at
But
number 4 if need be. He will be used as a floater in the batting lineup. So, from that point of view, given the overall thing, he is an automatic pick in the 11. Whether they would go with another left arm orthodox spinner in Ravindra Jadeja, the team management will have to take a call. This is my assumption.
so Somika, when you pick an experienced player, a senior player like Jadeja, would you keep him out of the playing 11, or rather you go in with the two
But
left arm spinners in
they
Akshar
have
Patel
done
and
it.
Ravindra Jadeja?
But they have done it in the even taste is basically Ravindra Jadeja's forte, right? But they have done it in Test cricket also. Ravindra Jadeja was not picked in the playing 11 for the first two Test matches in Australia. So from that point of view, I think it is not that much of big a call. If they want to play, obviously it will depend on the conditions. Don't forget, as you know and I know, in February or early March, there would be a lot of dew in the evening in Dubai. There would be a hell lot of dew. So from that point of view, whether they can play left arm finger spinners, that is also a question. A wrist spinner, so Kuldeep is there as a wrist spinner, but two finger spinners with similar profile could well be a luxury.
So does this also mean, Gargi Rao, that Hardik Pandya's leadership thing is over?
I think so. I think we've had more than enough confirmation on this. Shubman Gill ahead of a Hardik Pandya in the team, a Hardik Pandya that has given you, I think, a lot of solidity as a captain and as a leader. I think he's been good when it comes to it. There was a time when he was very consistent, but apart from, I think the injury concerns, there might also be other concerns regarding Hardik Pandya's captaincy, which kind of made him not the first choice here. I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes, of course, that we don't know, and we will never find out either. But Shubman Gill, I think it is a little bit of a surprising call for me personally, because you're not seeing a lot of consistency with the bat for Shubman Gill, and to have a vice captain, or let's say going forward, I know the management supports him 100%, but if suppose you don't see the same kind of consistency that you have seen in the past, the moments of brilliance, what do you do then?
Okay, so a lot of people saying Gaurav 10, this squad looks weak. Bharat Ramraj will come to you. Someone says, Gaurav said that Rupayan Nyogi Gill captaincy stint short but not great for GT. Deban Banerjee, Aksar and Jadeja same skill sets. Couldn't selectors have looked into a leg spinner given Dubai's wickets? Bhargav, it's obviously an advantage if we have two Jadejas. Bharat Ramraj, lots of questions there, but take that one. I mean, squad looks weak. Could they have done anything different? This is almost a given squad. I mean, you get Bumrah into that squad, and this is the squad you would have picked. I don't think that there are any real miss outs except Mohammad Siraj and possibly a Sanju Samson, but we know why Sanju Samson isn't there. Bharat Ramraj.
No, I don't think this is a weak side. If you look at it on paper, at least, a lot of experienced players in that particular squad. A lot of those players have very good records. So I don't agree with that. This is pretty much an expected squad. The only point I would add is perhaps it's a little bit of an aging side. Sometimes what happens is when it's an aging side, it could be coming to the fag end. Some of them could be coming to the fag end of their respective careers. So at some point, maybe is something very similar to Australia as well. At some point, to expect even Australia to slip in a 50-over tournament, it could be the Champions Trophy, and that could happen to the Indian team as well. So that I think is the only thing that I am wondering about, because I'm wondering whether this Indian team reached its peak in terms of 50-over tournaments in a 2023 50-over World Cup, and they should have basically won that. That they didn't. I'm just wondering whether it's now on a little bit of a downhill path. But on paper, this is definitely not a weak side. It's a very experienced side.
Devashish Sen, Rohit Sharma says, have you seen those rules come out from the BCCI handle? What about this? That's the most funny part of the press conference. What's going on?
Boriana, we did discuss in the previous live with Shomikda. I said, Shomikda, there's a particular catch in that the 10 point clause everywhere it is mentioned that subject to the permission of the head coach and the chairman of selectors. So clearly, there is definitely an option for the star players to go and ask the head coach and the chairman of selectors that they won't be available, but they would like to leave early for after the training. So clearly, there is a clause, means obviously
No,
subject
no,
to the
but
permission
he's
of the
saying
head
it is
coach.
not even tweeted from the BCCI handle. It has not been made public
Exactly,
from the BCCI handle. So where is it even a fact or not? Is it even a rule or not? At this point, it is not a rule. It could be gossip.
exactly. So in Indian cricket, but then I think in this regard, I think obviously there are certain things that have been discussed and that has been brought out in the media. But yes, with Rohit Sharma, it is always you will always get such comments. Means, but we'll have to wait for the clarity whether actually this 10 point clause has actually been discussed or has been will be officially coming out or not. We'll get to know. But it is very interesting. से हमको सेक्रेटरी से बात करना है बैठना है तो, क्या बीवी बीवी को लेके क्या चल रहा है so that is very interesting from Rohit Sharma.
Shomik Chakraborty, where do you stand on that? Gargi, I don't know
Just
what
read
you've
between the
tweeted. You
lines.
just sent us, one second, Shomik. You've just sent us a link. Anything interesting there?
No, it's about badminton.
Okay. But Shomik, yes, your thoughts. Devashish, if
No,
you
so
want to leave and go for Bangla,
first
you
of
please
all,
go.
I said
Because
this.
we will continue for
No,
another
but
15 minutes.
they,
Do you want to do Bangla?
who shall I do the Bangla live with because Agni is
আচ্ছা
not
ঠিক আছে
available.
ঠিক আছে Okay, we'll do Bangla. You and I will do Bangla with Shomik. Let this get done in 15
Perfect,
minutes. Yes, Shomik.
perfect. Yeah.
So, so basically, the thing is that I said this at 12 live also. All these 10-point policy documents, it's serving new wine in old wine skin to start with. Number two is that if we read, and we are allowed to read between the lines because nothing has been transparent as far as the BCCI is concerned. So we are allowed to read between the lines. And from that point of view, see the pattern. Sydney test, a day before Sydney test, Gautam Gambhir comes to the press conference and says, we are settled about our playing 11, right? Despite the fact it was all but decided that Rohit Sharma will stand himself down. Then 3 days, 2 days after that, Rohit Sharma appears in front of the host broadcasters, fires his repost saying that "मैं कहीं नहीं जा रहा हूं." Now this policy document has come out, and people have started saying that it clearly has Gautam Gambhir's imprint, right? And which apparently, on the face of it, it looks like it clearly has Gautam Gambhir's imprint. Now, uh, a couple of days after that, Rohit Sharma appears before the press and says, "आप कहीं BCCI handle से यहाँ ये आने को देखा है क्या?" So this is interesting, and we are allowed to read between the lines
Yeah, I mean, Indian cricket never ceases to
because
amaze you.
these policy documents, yeah, and make no mistake, this policy document has targeted the prima donnas in the side. It is not for Nitish Reddy or Akash Dev. It is for the prima donnas. So prima donnas versus someone, I mean, the prima donnas against someone who wants to end the star culture. So
Yeah,
it
so
is
so so that is the whole point,
very
right? That
interesting.
is
Very
that is the
interesting.
whole point that Rohit Sharma is saying that आपने देखा है क्या? Meaning he doesn't stand for it. So clearly there is an issue between captain and Gautam
Exactly.
or whoever it is because it's chairman of selectors and Gautam
Ab-
Gambhir. If the document at all comes ever, so there is going to be that issue between the captain and the head coach or whatever it is. Well, there is nothing to read between the lines. It is evident clearly on the wall. And here I can say this openly. If India wins the Champions Trophy, Rohit Sharma becomes more powerful than Gautam Gambhir. If India loses the Champions Trophy, both lose out. Gautam Gambhir is never going to win this one. Never. In Indian cricket, or rather
Right.
in a sport
Right.
like this, unlike football, where the manager is all powerful, in cricket, the coach is not. The captain is the man who is going to be all powerful. Whether it is Rohit Sharma, whether it is Surya Kumar Yadav, whether it is Shubman Gill. Gautam Gambhir, however much he might have clout at this point in time, eventually, if he doesn't have the dressing room with him, he's not going to win. Period. And whatever he might try, whatever he might try, it will not work. And he will get weakened himself if India doesn't win. And if India wins, even then the credit will go more to the players than to the coach. So it is a catch 22 as far as Gautam Gambhir is concerned. And Rohit Sharma's comment, "Aapne dekha hai kya?" is a clear indication where the players led by the captain stand on this. And if you listen to that, हमें secretary से बात करना पड़ेगा, सब कोई मेरे से पूछ रहा है. Means the players are all together. The players are all together. सब कोई मेरे से पूछ रहा है. Players are all together on this matter with the captain. So we can clearly understand where the wind is blowing. Bharat Ramraj, your thoughts on that?
On Gautam Gambhir.
Yeah, because it's not, it is evident now where the wind is blowing.
Yeah, see, as far as Gautam Gambhir is concerned, obviously he would want to have, I guess, control over the entire Indian team. That could be one of the reasons why this particular guidelines, 10 point guidelines, all these things is come out. So he wants to show that little bit of control over the seniors in terms of the star culture or whatever. So I guess that is what he wants as a head coach, someone who is quite authoritative in terms of his nature as well, Gautam Gambhir. So when you consider that, one can understand why he's thinking on those lines. Even if you look at some of his comments before about team unity, team bonding, the things that he kind of says that there should not be any star culture. Considering all that, I guess kind of expected that this kind of guidelines will come out.
Okay, last few minutes because we have to come back at 5 p.m. when all of us digest this show. All of us need to digest the team and make a list of the points. So we will close in the next 10 minutes and come back at 5 p.m. I'll start with Gargi Rao. Gargi, does this team, now that you've got the team, there is a question mark hanging over Bumrah, but if I read between the lines from what Ajit Agarkar said, clearly there is a lot of hope as far as Jasprit Bumrah is concerned. Keeping that in mind, do you give this Indian side, do you reckon this Indian side has it in them to win the Champions Trophy?
I think they do. I think it looks like a strong team, and this is not a weak team by any measure. Jasprit Bumrah, of course, there's always that concern there, but even without Jasprit Bumrah, I think it can be done. You have some good firepower in the team. You have, I think, a good combination. But when it comes to other things, whatever's going on, transparency, all of that, I think there are still a lot of questions to be answered when it comes to what Rohit Sharma accidentally, not sure if he meant to say that on the speaker or not, but whatever we're hearing, I think there needs to be a lot of answers to a lot of questions.
Shomik, your thoughts before I go to Devashish and Bharat?
See, as far as India's chances are concerned, I stick to the point. Even yesterday evening, also I spoke about the team selection in the case that both Akshar and Ravindra Jadeja will be there along with Washi. And regarding India's chances in the team, I reiterate, if Bumrah is fit, India has a chance. India has a definite chance. If Bumrah is not fit, if Bumrah is not fit to play the Champions Trophy, uh, India would be walking a serious tightrope. I don't see them winning the Champions Trophy.
Devashish said, do you see Mohammad Shami using this opportunity, coming back in the 50-over format, also making a case for India in England? The return
Yeah,
of Mohammad
obviously.
Shami?
Yeah, who better than Sami himself? He knows that a good performance in the Champions Trophy and the white ball format might open the doors for him as far as the test squad is concerned. And Shami in England will be huge boost for India. We saw what it was in Australia because with Siraj losing his form and the inexperienced bowling lineup, Bumrah lacked that support from the other end. With Shami now getting fit, and if he does well, and if he gets picked for that test squad to England, I think it will augur well for India. But Moriada, the fact is that the bottom line is that if the captain and the coach is not on the same page, means the sooner these differences of opinion is erased, the better for Indian cricket. Because the last thing that you need is to have the difference of opinion between the captain and the coach. that won't do well for India as far as the Indian team is concerned going into the Champions Trophy.
Okay, let's close the show here. We will come back at 5 p.m. We will take all your questions. Question number one that we are asking. We need your answers. Do you think this is the best squad? Do you think, question number one, Gargi, put the questions out for 5 p.m. One, is this the best squad that India could have picked? Question number two, is it fair on Sanju Samson? We think it's fair. We think it's fair because he did not play the Vijay Hazare Trophy, but we are happy if you disagree with us. Question number two, your thoughts on Sanju Samson. Question number three, Gargi, tweet the questions out, and then we will want people to comment and give us their answers at 5 p.m. Question number three, do they agree with the omission of Mohammad Siraj? Three, do they agree with the omission of Mohammad Siraj? Question number four, what are their thoughts on Shubman Gill as vice captain? Do they think Shubman Gill as vice captain is a good call? And question number five, do they think that Jasprit Bumrah, who will just get fifth, 5 weeks of offloading means he will be touch and go? Will India risk Jasprit Bumrah, or should India risk Jasprit Bumrah in the Champions Trophy? 5 questions we are asking at 5. Gargi Raut will tweet them out. You guys join us at 5 p.m. All of us will be back. We will take the answers. Gargi will have to rush to the India Open because Satvik and Chirag will play their semi-final against Go and Izuddin. We will get her from the KD Jadhav Arena. The rest of us will be back at 5 p.m. Plenty to do. Shomik, Devashish and I will also join you for Bangla in 20 minutes from now. Thank you very much, all of you, for watching. 5 p.m. with 5 questions. Come back. Till then, thanks everyone. Do subscribe and follow us on the platform because, as we said, ask all the hard questions properly. No sensationalism, no sugarcoating. Thanks for watching.